In this video, I'm going to be explaining why I think the Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach Tales from the Pizzaplex books should have came out first and then Security Breach should have released. And now let me explain why, because some of you guys will probably be like, what is this man saying? He must be on something, but let me explain. So we all know that when Security Breach came out, it was, I think, more than a mess. The game was, first of all, very poorly optimized, so many bugs in the game. It was just so buggy, so much things were cut out from the original game, like Vanessa actually being an important character is literally just like cut out, so many voice lines from the trailer, so many things from the trailer that never actually happened in the game. The game Security Breach is not bad at all. It's pretty much a fun, entertaining game. The thing is, it's just not scary at all. Lots of things are cut out, it's extremely buggy. It just did not live up to the hype which it, was building up before it came out, like what, 2 to 3 years before we're waiting for the game, then it just came out like that. So of course, if the game had like another year or a longer time to just build up on that, because the mall is a great place. It could have been a really good horror place. They could have like made the lights really dim because it's nighttime. Why is every single one of the lights on? I need an explanation for that. Of course, they're probably not paying the electricity bill, but of course, it could have been a lot more scarier. The game could have been, and it could have been a lot more less buggy, could have been a lot more complete if they would have waited long enough. And a good way to wait longer without giving the fans no content is by releasing and giving them the Tales of the Pizzaplex books. That was a tongue twister for me. Anywho, the books, if you never actually read them, I'm just going to go to random stories back and forth. That's going to get you probably confused, because all you need to know is that they talk about the Pizzaplex and explain lots of things that are really confusing when we're all playing the games, which, would have been nice walking to the game, not being confused by, yo, that's from the books. Look, it's all coming together now. But nope, we played the game, was like, Gregory's a robot because he's a robot. You know why? Because MatPat. But anywho, when you actually read the books, one of the books, I think it was the book that has Moon on his Moon's face on the cover, it explains about Sun and Moon, why there is a creepy Moon, why Sun becomes Moon in the middle of the night and traumatizes kids. Like, they never explained how Fazbear got away with that, but it was explained that Sun and Moon was originally made for a show, and it was supposed to be a play where at nighttime, he becomes a moon, scary, and in the daytime, he's a nice, cheerful, Sun. But that's why you can see in the whole daycare, you can see the whole like play set, and that's why he's kind of like looking like a clown actor type thing. But anywho, they popped him in the daycare like Fazbear fashion to just go and save money on things. So they made him a daycare attendant. That's why he becomes Moon in the nighttime. That would have been a lot easier or cooler to know when you play in the game a little bit more in the backstory. And another big case of this is kind of like, The Mimic. We all know the new story that's been going around. Also, another story like The Storyteller, talking about the Pizzaplex, explaining and, describing how the Pizzaplex looks. Imagine reading these books, hearing all the amazing details of the Pizzaplex, without actually exploring the Pizzaplex, then going into the game, exploring the Pizzaplex after hearing so much things about it, hearing the developers talk about how big it is, hearing all that. Imagine how cool that would have been exploring it. I feel like it would have been a really nice thing to, explore. And of course, the book, The Storyteller, talked about a whole bunch of different trees, different animatronics, and also talked about a different version of Chica that I'm pretty sure that was from the books, unless it was like in the game somewhere. But how there's like a yellow version of Chica, also the whole Bonnie thing, I don't think was ever mentioned, but there was a whole bunch of, different times in the Pizzaplex that would have been, the books explored that was not in the games. That would have been, pretty cool to know when you're playing the game. But the Mimic is of course the biggest thing that came out after the games. It kind of explains what Afton is now, or Burnt Trap is, because the Mimic explains and talks about all that coding in the room, kind of debunks Gregbot as an actual, character. But then the Mimic explains how Afton came back, explains all the different viruses, explains Vanny, and explains, GGY, and another story, GGY, showing how, Gregory was possessed by Freddy, and it would make sense how Gregory just randomly pops up there unconfused and then just agrees to go to destroy every single one of the animatronics. It would make a lot more sense playing the game. You'd be like, yo, that's Burnt Trap. Or is he really Afton? Nope, he's probably the Mimic, because I read the story and it makes a lot more sense. And then everything slowly comes together as you stop playing the game, letting everything slowly be revealed. Everything starts coming together without playing the game and literally having no knowledge on it. So, that probably would have been cool. And there is so much other different stories that they talked about in Tales of the Pizzaplex that I kind of forgot half of them, but those are the main ones that I remembered. But at that point, it would have gave us a lot more time, or would have gave us Steelwool a lot more time to work on the actual game now. And of course, the game would have came out really good. We would have had probably a lot more higher expectations. They could have had a lot more play testers, release more trailers, get the hype up even more, and we could actually walk in there and have a good gameplay, not be confusing, nothing like that. We have all the content we need, because I don't think we're ever going to get this lost content back. But at the end of the day, this is why I feel like the book should have came first. But of course, it took a long time for us to get the books, so many people just like, it's good the books came out after, because what are the books doing? It's explaining and letting us all know all those confusing things and helping us, learn and hear and see all the different well, you see it's a book, it's not a graphic novel or anything like that, but it just explains to us all the weird things that have been going around in the Pizzaplex. So reading the books after playing the game helps you understand the game, but if you would have had books before the game, that gives us something to read, something to explore, something to see before the game actually comes out. And then when it comes out, we can actually understand everything in there, and that's why I think the book should have came out first. But anywho, it's everyone's opinion. You let me know. Have you read all the books? And also, if you did read the books, which one do you think should come out first? Do you think the books would have been spoiling things for the Pizzaplex, and us playing the game would have been like, yo, the book spoiled so much about this? Do you think that's a good thing, or do you think the book should have came out after? Let me know in the comments below, and watch my other videos about why we have no entire teaser and nothing, no information on the Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach Ruined DLC, because, well, it's been almost over an entire year, and all we had was that one poster and then the leak that happened recently. So don't forget to check out that video, because I think it'll be pretty interesting if you're a Five Nights at Freddy's fan, and if you're not, well, thanks for watching to the end.